Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to zoom way out today to look at the absolute biggest picture imaginable. We're stepping back to map out this incredibly profound intersection where ancient philosophy meets cutting-edge technology. Basically, we're diving into a concept that completely changes how we view the evolutionary trajectory of our planet and really the true nature of our everyday digital lives.
So here is the big question. Is the Earth growing a mind of its own? I know it sounds totally like sci-fi, right? Like some trope from a futuristic novel. But as we unpack the source material today, you're going to see that this really isn't just a metaphor anymore. Day by day, trench by trench, server farm by server farm, we are building this massive, planetary-scale infrastructure that makes this once mind-bending idea a tangible, operational reality. We are literally talking about a global brain coming online.
Okay, let's dive right into the core term here, the noosphere. This is a brilliant concept that was actually popularized decades ago by philosopher Pierre Teilhard de Chardin and scientist Vladimir Vernadsky. And what makes their work so revolutionary is that they envisioned this interconnected mental network way before the internet or modern computing even existed. They beautifully describe the noosphere as the thinking skin of our planet. It's that invisible but very real layer of human consciousness, our shared mental activity, and our vast social connections. And as we'll explore today, this theoretical layer of human thought has absolutely matured into a physically grounded global phenomenon.
Moving into Section 1, Earth's thinking skin. Let's quickly trace the historical and evolutionary context of this global mind.
So, Chardin and Vernadsky viewed planetary evolution in three massive, sweeping stages. Step 1 is the geosphere. For billions of years, this was the entire story. Just the rock, the water, the tectonic plates, the inanimate matter of the early Earth. It was dynamic for sure, but it was lifeless. Then, Step 2 emerged, the biosphere. This was the sudden, vibrant, chaotic bloom of biological life wrapping the globe, covering the rock in green and breathing oxygen into the atmosphere. And finally, Step 3, the stage we are actively building right this second, the noosphere. This is the layer of human consciousness enveloping the planet, exactly like the biosphere did before it. It's this structured evolutionary trajectory of increasing complexity. The Earth essentially goes from being a sphere of rock to a sphere of life to a sphere of thought.
Section 2. The digital nervous system. How does this profound philosophical idea actually function in the real world today?
Well, historically, the noosphere was a pretty abstract web. I mean, it existed, sure, but it was made up of oral traditions, shared religion, written letters, eventually printed books. It was incredibly slow. But today, we've built something entirely new. The cloud is the physical infrastructure that acts as the actual nervous system for this collective mind. We're talking about millions of miles of fiber optic cables running across the ocean floor and massive data centers consuming the power of small cities. This high-speed digital architecture provides the exact framework required for this layer of consciousness to essentially wake up. It literally gives humanity a shared, instantly accessible memory.
And this infrastructure fundamentally allows us to transcend geography. Think about it. Before the cloud, human thoughts and experiences were strictly localized and inherently ephemeral. If you had an incredible idea or made a vital discovery, it largely stayed in your village or maybe your local library. If that library burned down, that knowledge just vanished from the noosphere completely. But today, the cloud acts as an invincible global repository for human experience. It hosts our data in a singular planetary space where information is stored, duplicated, and shared in real time. A breakthrough in a lab in Tokyo is instantly accessible to a researcher in Sao Paulo. Our thoughts are no longer bound by borders, distance, or time.
Which brings us to Section 3, AI, the cognitive engine. Now this perfectly illustrates how two massive technologies elegantly complement each other to create the global brain. On one hand, the cloud acts as the host. It's the nervous system holding the noosphere together and transmitting the signals. But as you know, a nervous system that only transmits signals isn't enough to make a brain. It needs a processor to actually make sense of all the noise. That is exactly where artificial intelligence steps in. AI operates as the synthetic intellect. It's the cognitive engine that processes the noosphere. Together, the cloud and AI take that 20th century philosophical theory and turn it into a humming digital reality right before our eyes.
So what exactly does this cognitive engine do with the literal exabytes of shared human data we generate every single day? It manages the staggering complexity of the whole shebang. The source material outlines three key functions of AI within this global brain: pattern recognition, accelerated evolution, and unified communication. Let's unpack how AI handles this immense cognitive load and elevates our collective intelligence.
First up is pattern recognition. Just think about the billions of data points humans generate every second. We're talking financial transactions, medical records, climate sensors, traffic patterns. It's endless. No single human mind, or even a massive team of brilliant human minds, can process that volume of information. But AI absolutely can. It relates to the noosphere by identifying the deep, complex connections hidden within the global brain. It sees the big picture of human data simultaneously. So whether it's tracking the early signals of a global pandemic or optimizing international supply chains, AI finds the trends, the solutions, and the anomalies that we as individual humans simply cannot perceive on our own. Our second function, accelerated evolution, is where things get truly compelling. See, AI isn't just a passive observer or some massive digital filing cabinet. It is actively pushing our limits. By automating routine logic, drafting basic code, and handling everyday analytical tasks, AI fundamentally frees up human mental energy. And this allows the entire noosphere to expand its creative and intellectual boundaries at exponential speeds. We are literally evolving our collective capabilities faster than ever before, all because the cognitive engine is handling the mundane, leaving us humans to tackle the truly extraordinary.
Finally, unified communication. For a global brain to actually function as one single entity, its different regional parts need to be able to talk to each other seamlessly, right? Well, for millennia, language has been the ultimate friction point in the noosphere. But today, AI-driven translation is actively dissolving those ancient barriers. By facilitating near-perfect, real-time translation of text and spoken word, AI is synchronizing the planet into a singular, interconnected global conversation. It's a real game changer.
And that leads us to our final part, Section 4, the human element.
So, the crucial point is this. With all of this incredible cold technology, the cloud routing exabytes of data globally, AI processing it at lightning speed, it's incredibly easy to feel small, like we're just tiny cogs in a machine we don't even control anymore. But here is the spark of intent. For all its processing power, AI is fundamentally reliant on us. A brain needs a soul. It needs direction. The sources make it resoundingly clear. Within this massive system, humans must provide evaluation. We have to provide validation. We must inject emotion, ethics, and reason into the data. AI can process the noosphere, but it's our distinctly human traits that actually guide the global brain and give it its ultimate meaning.
Which leaves us with one final, lingering thought to close out today's explainer. What is your role within this vast digital consciousness? Every single search you make, every piece of art you share, every analytical evaluation you provide feeds directly into this global brain. You are the intent. You are the vital thinking skin of the earth. I really hope this breakdown helped you see your daily digital life in a totally new, profound light. Keep learning, keep evaluating, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.